Welcome to Rochambeau, the podcast about unique competitions, extraordinary events, and other amazing adventures. I'm Ted.
And I'm Kim. Hope you guys are up to date on our laugh competition.
Yes. Have you called our laugh line?
We've been getting some great entries. You can find out all about it on RochambeauPodcast.com. There is a page dedicated to the laugh competition. Check it out.
So a couple episodes ago, you talked about crying babies.
I did.
In Japan.
That's right.
And this week, we're going back to Japan.
All right.
Yeah, we're big in Japan. Today's episode, Onbashira, or Japanese log riding. So the Japanese log riding festival, you may have seen this. There's people riding down hills on logs, on huge logs.
I have absolutely not seen this.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Have you not looked at our Slack channel?
Did you pitch this once?
This is an early idea.
Oh,
yeah.
I totally don't remember this.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'm excited to hear all about it.
Yeah, there's tons of videos out there of usually a couple people are on the log, and they're huge logs, like weigh several tons.
So a couple guys on the log at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Riding it, like, straddling it, trying to stay on the log all the way down this hill.
What type of hill? Like a grassy hill?
Like a grassy, dirty hill, like a 30-degree slope, I found out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I started researching this, I just thought, there's a bunch of crazy dudes riding logs down hills.
Sure.
But there's so much more to it. It's really cool. The official full name is, and I'm going to butcher this, so I apologize to everybody in the world, Suwa, Taisha, Shikinen, Zouei, Onbashira, Taisai. It's really just called the Onbashira, or the Sacred Pillars Festival.
Ooh, sacred.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, the logs are used for sacred pillars in a shrine.
Okay.
Right? And so, to get those pillars to the shrine, first they cut them down in the forest, they drag them up a hill and then ride them down a hill, bring them through a town, across a river, and then erect them at the shrine.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So there's an end goal in mind.
Right. Yep.
For the transportation. It's not just a ride. It's a ritual.
A ritual. Yeah, it's a ritual. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, has a lot neat. A lot more to it than just thrills and kicks of riding it down the hill, but that is, very popular. A lot of people show up for that. So, by custom, the Onbashira were replaced every 6 years.
You mean the pillars of the
pillars.
temple?
Yeah, pillars
are
of the temple.
replaced every 6 years. Got it?
Yeah, in the years of the monkey and the tiger. Happens at the Suwa shrine, and it happens during the Onbashira festival, and it's a renewal of the shrine's buildings.
What time of year does this happen?
This is in the spring. There's 2 parts of the festival. There's the Yamadashi, which is the moving of the logs, to my understanding. And then there's the Satobiki, and that's the raising of the logs. So that's the actual
Makes sense.
Raising them up at the shrine. So the Yamadashi takes place in April, and the Satobiki takes place in May.
All right. Well, I'm assuming for Rochambeau, we're going to be talking about the former a little
Yes.
more, right?
Yep. This takes place near Nagano, Japan. And it's moving these enormous logs over difficult terrain, all by hand, with thickly braided ropes to pull them along. And there's hundreds of people involved in moving each of the logs. There's several different troops from the videos I watched, brightly colored, reds, yellows, blues, all working together. Like a yellow team would work together to bring one big log across.
Is the dress ornate, or is it just like a yellow jumpsuit?
It's pretty ornate. So the goal is to bring the logs to the shrine. The logs themselves are 17 meters in length and can weigh up to 12 tons.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is actually a very dangerous ritual. People die every year.
Wow.
From getting crushed by logs. Sometimes spectators as well.
Oh my gosh.
It's the real deal. Yeah, it's very dangerous, but that brush with death is kind of seen as a form of bravery.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, in 1994, 2 men were drowned while attempting to pull the log across a river with their group. 2 men fell from a 30-foot tall tree that was being raised, and then 2 other people were injured there as well. So, yeah. But there's also some glory, of course, associated with it.
Okay.
If you ride the log all the way down the hill, you're kind of considered the hero. And you get praise,
Gotcha.
So that's the competition angle we're working on here.
I see.
Like, they're very excited they lived. And those who ride the farthest get called the hero. They're praised for the rest of the year. So this may be our oldest thing we've covered.
Oh, do tell.
It's been going on for 1,200 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's steeped in tradition and ritual and grandeur. So let me give you the scene at the Hitoshi, the actual log down the hill part.
Okay.
They do one log at a time. Teams are lined up with their very thickly braided rope. The log's in the middle of the hill, and the people are kind of going down the hill away from the log. And they're pulling on the log. There's people on top of the logs. They're pulling on the logs, and then once it kind of breaks the plane, like tips over and starts getting gravity, they kind of let go of the ropes, and the log goes down the hill. The guys are trying to ride it. You can see the ropes getting people, knocking them over, people flying off, getting under the log, tumbling down the hill. It's a pretty steep hill. There seems to be two different types of logs. There's logs that are just a log. There's other logs that have kind of a V formation of two sets of legs kind of coming off the top like antenna.
I'm having a hard time picturing this.
Yeah, my arms are up in the air. So picture a log on the ground.
Okay.
All right. And then off the log, coming up at 45-degree angles on either side, are two other logs.
Okay.
Yep. Those are in the front and the back.
Okay. Is that man-made or are they finding log? Okay,
yeah, no,
got it.
And I wasn't quite clear on the difference, but I think this one's more ceremonial, or maybe it goes in a different spot in the shrine. And so people are riding on those as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many people are on a log?
I've seen like between 1 and 10 people going down it, at least trying to go down it. The moving the log through the water and through the towns, especially on the V-shaped ones, there could be like 50 people on there. And they made footholds with ropes that loop down, so they're kind of standing on a rope loop. Yeah, so it's very beautiful and very festive, a lot of colors, all for the Shinto shrine. And despite all the risks and the injuries, the tone of it is really festive. Lots of singing, music, and colorful costumes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we love colorful costumes.
We sure do.
All right. By some accounts, as many as 200,000 people attend these. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a huge thing. It's a real big deal.
That's killer.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess especially since it's only happening every 6 years or so.
Right.
So when is the next one happening?
Well, the next event is happening in the spring of 2022.
Oh, that's plenty of time to plan a good trip to Japan.
That's right, yeah.
I love it.
It takes place at the Suwa Grand Shrine, Suwa, in the Lake Suwa area, and that's in Nagano Prefecture.
So you said that over like 200,000 people show up for it. How many people are actually riding the logs?
I don't know, but I know there's like 3,000 people participate in the event.
I see, in some form.
Right. But the log riding is definitely one of the most attended parts of the event. And did you also know that Onbashira was in the 1998 Winter Olympics?
No fooling, something that dangerous.
It was in the opening ceremonies because it took place in Japan.
I see.
Right. So
of
they
course.
just did it as a little show about it. I don't think they actually rode a log down the hill, but they showed them on the logs.
I see.
Yeah. That's another good reason to go to Japan.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like we needed more reasons.
Right. And that, my friends, is the Onbashira, also known as log riding.
All right, so our events calendar, we're going to start in Hawaii.
All right.
Yeah.
I like this.
On the Big Island in Hilo Town, there is the Merry Monarch Festival. It starts this Sunday, April 21st. It runs for a week, and it features a hula competition.
Oh, whoa.
I know. How amazing would that be?
Can you hula?
No, I mean, oh my gosh. Have you seen hula dancers?
Yeah,
They're
it's
phenomenal.
Incredible. We had a hula dancer at one of our backyard mountain board parties.
Did you really?
Yeah, my neighbor was a hula dancer. She was really good, and she came by and did a little demo for us.
Wow.
It was very cool. Yeah.
So cool. Well, you need to tell her that she needs to compete in the World Championship, which is going on at the Merry Monarch Festival in Hawaii.
You know what, Kim? If I need to go to this for the podcast, I will.
You'll fall on the
sword?
I will. All right, yeah. Good for you. So if you guys are in Hawaii or by chance going to be visiting, please don't miss the opportunity to go check out something really unique.
Right. Speaking of unique.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of our jam. It's our bread and butter.
That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, okay.
No, just kidding. If you're in the Atlanta area, the Georgia Renaissance Festival is happening.
Ah, yes. Renaissance festivals.
Yes.
They happen everywhere all the time. Isn't any day in the world, I bet there's a Renaissance festival somewhere.
I certainly hope so, because those giant turkey legs, delicious.
I don't know about that.
Well, it happens here April 13th through June 2nd.
Okay.
So it starts.
Cool. So we are well within the midst of it.
We are. And I'm excited about it because it has the original extreme sport.
Tell me.
Jousting. Yeah.
100% on board for that.
Yeah.
I do like to watch some jousting.
Yep. And there's jugglers, there's jesters, there's hijinks.
Very, very
That's what
cool.
it says right there on the website. Yeah.
Well, they picked the right
Yeah.
words.
And they have a cosplay element to this one as well, which is pretty cool. Like,
What?
yeah. It says fantasy meets history and superheroes meet royalty during our time warp weekend.
Go on.
Okay. 8 weekends of cosplay and fantasy fun. I don't know. They're going to have cosplay in the village. Time Lords and Stormtroopers are welcome. So
That's crazy.
yeah, they're doing
It's a
mashup.
mashup.
It's a mashup. Like there's guys in kilts and Stormtrooper helmets. I like
At
it.
a Renaissance festival.
At a Renaissance festival.
Wow.
Yeah, geeks unite. I like it.
I like it too. All right, people, there's a lot going on out there. Please send us anything you know about in your hometown or something maybe that you traveled to once, and we will get it on our calendar because the world is a big, beautiful, and sometimes strange place.
So get out there and do it.
That's right.
And don't forget to call our laugh line and leave us your best laugh.
Please do. RochambeauPodcast.com/laugh.
Yep.
And you can find out all about our world's best laugh competition.
This is our first competition.
It is. It's
I
awesome.
know we're entering the competition running world. So there's that.
Till next time, people.
Goodbye. So let's what's ba 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 da ba ba boo.
Boop, 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 boop.